Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 14 of Civilization 5. This is the One City Challenge as Venice. And I've been having a little bit of a think between episodes about what exactly I'm going to do for my victory condition. Well, first of all, let's discount score. I mean, I don't count a score victory as a proper victory in any case, and with only having a single city, it's going to be very, very difficult to get anywhere near the top of the scoreboard. And on top of that, it's very, very unlikely that we'd get to turn 500 without somebody else getting a win in before us in any case. So let's look at the other four options. First of all, domination. Domination is a possibility, but given the fact that we are on a very fractal map, the only way we will be able to win a domination victory is with naval superiority. Now, we can do that, but the problem we're going to have is we are very much limited to our resources. We do have some oil, so we could potentially get some battleships going once we get to that point. But apart from that, we are going to be struggling a little bit. And this is always the problem on these types of maps. Very, very limited strategic resources. The other option, of course, is science, which is my initial plan. If we look at the demographics, I am actually still currently at the top of the science race. So that is still potentially the best way to go. We do have a couple of academies. We've got an observatory. We are still in a good position for that victory. The only problem, of course, is with having a single city, we are very limited to production, and that's going to make it a little bit difficult building spaceship parts because we're only going to be able to build one at a time. The other options are a cultural victory. Now, initially, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that possible, but if we actually have a look at the culture victory, we have 25 tourism, which is more than anybody else. Now, strangely enough, we do still have dissidents for our ideology because Greece has gone autocracy. Now, Greece is more influential at the moment because they had a lot more tourism than us for the longest time, but now ours is higher. We should be able to push back, and we do have the excess happiness to tank the dissidents. So I'm not too bothered about that. I think we can push it back around. So a cultural victory is still on the cards. Now, one I had never considered at the start of this game, especially given the fact that Greece are one of our opponents, was a diplomatic victory. And we did do a diplomatic victory in our last playthrough, so I wanted to avoid doing that again straight away. However, if we actually look at World Congress currently, we have more votes than anybody, including Greece. So it's still on the cards. I don't think I'm going to aim specifically for one victory type at the moment. We're going to still carry on going towards science, which is what we were, but if another opportunity presents itself, then that is where we will head. The Shoshone are still at war with Greece, which is a war that we orchestrated by bribing one to go on the other. I think we ended up bribing Greece to declare on the Shoshone. I can't remember which way round it was, but either way, they are still at war with each other, which is helping us greatly. We have pretty much improved the majority of the tiles that we can safely get away with improving. So there are still a few forests and things, a few jungles around where we can put in lumber camps and trading posts, which we very much will do. So we are going to carry on. We are currently building the Musicians Guild. Greece is now the ally of Cahokia. So we've most of what's been happening in the last few turns is I have been in a perpetual tug of war with Greece to try and keep the city-states on side. Okay, you guys have got over here. You want to build a trading post. I don't disagree with that at the moment, so go ahead and do that. Archaeologists have arrived here. You are going to construct an archaeological dig. Is that trying to tell me that it can't, or are they actually working? No, maybe they are working. It didn't. It hasn't shown that they're working, but the next turn button's highlighted. Yep, they are digging now. Good. I see that Greece... Well, we knew that Greece had settled this city, so you'll have to forgive me. It has been a week or so since I actually played, because I do record a few videos together in advance, but I do remember that they were settling down here, because I remember that I was no longer able to get that. But we do have very limited positions where we can safely stow an artifact at the moment. In fact... where can we actually put artifacts? Are you going to tell me? No, I'm just going to wait for the turn processing to finish, and then I might actually be able to find out. And the barbarians. A lot of trade routes. At least we're making very, very good money. We're making almost 500 gold per turn, which is fantastic. So let's have a look here. It's the same as a great art slot. It's not actually telling me here. Art from different eras. I think it's the museum. The museum allows artifacts because that's a statue. So we can still raise one more artifact at the moment and put that in the museum. That's fine. That's why those guys are there. So that's okay. So we have our Musicians Guild. We can build submarines. I thought we had one around somewhere. It might be worth getting one, but I don't think we're in any huge danger at the moment. So we could build a hydro plant, but it isn't really worth it because we'd only get one production in every tile next to a river. Now, I'm not sure if that counts in the capital as well, because the capital's next to a river. And apart from that, there is only one other tile that I think the river runs here. From the mountain. So this tile would gain an extra production, which isn't terrible, I suppose. It doesn't have anything on that tile right now, so maybe a trading post there would be very, very useful, actually. Other than that, we don't really need the caravansary. We don't really need the barracks. We don't need the extra happiness. We don't really need the castle at this point. So let's go ahead and get things such as the Grand Temple and the Artist Guilds up and running. We may as well because it only takes a single turn. This cargo ship has finished its route. It was previously going to Delhi. Let's continue with that because it's for the highest gold. We don't really want to go to Greece because I don't want to give them any money. I don't want to help them out. I've got another unit that needs orders. So a lot of my cargo ships were all built on the same turn, which means that they generally run out of their, or they end their trade route on the same turn. So we're going to continue to go to all of the routes we were before. Only had to do the 2 that time, which is not too bad. We do still have the option to bribe some more city-states, and we will carry on doing that because getting extra stuff from the city-states does help us out. And also, if we rob them away from Greece, it actually hurts Greece as well, so it's all good stuff. I'm going to wait for the AI to finish taking its turns because one thing I can't remember is what the current World Congress policies were. So Morocco and the Shoshone have signed a research agreement, that's fine. Very, very close to finishing the Grand Temple. That'll be the end of this turn. Then we can go ahead and do the... was it the Musicians Guild? So everything's just going to move around again. Right, let's just have a quick look in the World Congress. What was it? The International Games and ban luxury citrus. Okay, do we actually have any citrus? Are we making any use of it? No, we're not. So if it gets banned, it's not going to be a big problem to us. Now, the International Games is going to be a little bit difficult for us because we only have one city, but we should certainly at least be able to get ourselves a silver. Let's go ahead and get ourselves the Artists Guild here anyway. Another cargo ship. So where were you going to before? You were going to go shoot, so you might as well still do that. And we can go straight on to the next turn. As I've said before, this is one of those things that does happen with the single city challenge. Because you only have one city to manage, you don't usually end up with an awful lot to do on some of the turns. Not unless you're at war anyway. We will at some point have to start churning out some military units just to give ourselves a bit of protection. Although I don't think at the moment we are in a huge risk of being declared on by anybody, so that's quite good. You want me to give you 84 gold per turn. You know what? I could quite easily afford to do so. But why would I want to do that? That is an absurd amount of money. Go away, you silly little man. Go away, Gandhi. Nobody cares. So let's start having a look around at city-states and consider which city-states we could potentially bribe onto our side. We want to keep as many of them on side as possible. We've actually got a good number of them on side now. In fact, we've got the majority of the ones that we have met on side. A golden age has dawned. Our declaration of friendship with Sweden has run its course and needs to be renewed. We could certainly go and have a word with Gustavus and discuss declaration of friendship, and he's happy to do that. Do we have any research agreements going? We already got one in place. That is fine then. Who else do we have a declaration of friendship with? Discuss. We don't... Oh, maybe we already have a declaration of friendship here. Research agreements. He doesn't have enough money. He's losing a lot of gold per turn. oddly enough. The Shoshone, I think we've possibly got a declaration of friendship with them. Research agreement is already in place. I'm just doing this because I honestly cannot remember which ones that we did. We know we're not friendly with Alexander because he is hostile. Genghis, I think we have a declaration of friendship with. Research agreement already in place. Good. We've got a lot of research agreements here going on. Morocco, I believe we are already friendly with. And we have a research agreement. So the only people we don't have a research agreement with is Gandhi and Alexander, who are both hostile, and Oda. But he doesn't have any money, so he can't do one anyway. As far as city-states go, there are 2 city-states that are both controlled by Greece. We need 5 influence to surpass Greece in Cahokia, and we need 93 to surpass them in Brussels. So let's try and get Cahokia back, because they are a mercantile city. So we are going to give them a gift, and I'm literally just going to throw 1,000 gold at them, because it's nice and easy to do. That's one less thing for the Shoshone to have to worry about fighting as well. What else have we got that could be quite useful? I'm sure there was something else that I just thought that I really should think about doing, and now it's totally gone out of my head, so let's go back in and have a look. We might as well get the hydro plant. We do have 12 aluminium, which is probably going to be enough. So let's go ahead and build that hydro plant. We're not really having to do anything else just there, so that's not too much of a problem at all. There are probably still some more city-states around that I haven't found. We do have a great galleass that is out here exploring, so things aren't too bad. Let's go on to the next turn. Of course, there are also quite a few city-states that have fallen because they have been captured by the AI, which is something that is especially going to happen when you have Genghis Khan on the map. So, Pocatello has made peace with Cahokia, which is fine. I think they're actually up here somewhere. Yeah, so that just makes life a little bit easier for the Shoshone if they want to take any of their units through there. Morocco, our friend, has denounced India, which is all very good. Athens is still a little bit of a powerhouse over there. Oh, that was it. Spies, of course. I was going to have a look and see if I could... well, I probably don't really need to enact any coups at the moment, simply because I've already got control over most of the city-states. I do have a spy in Brussels, so maybe we could go ahead and do something there. Let's have a look. We have a 66% chance of a coup, so I'm not going to try and do that at the moment. Let's have a look in Athens, see what is going on there. He's currently building a military base. It's probably because he's at war, so it's hardly surprising. He's got a lot of gold output because he's got a lot of silver there. In fact, he's got a very good gold output over here in this city. Fair bit of science as well. Not an awful lot we can do about that. What I do intend to do, though, just because I can, is I'm going to go to Brussels, and let's just go ahead and throw money at them while I've got plenty of it, and that now takes them away from Athens as well. Greece is probably going to take them straight back. I fully expect that to happen, but I don't mind too much. I've got the money to do it quite easily. Might as well carry on putting my religious pressure onto the Indian cities. Why not? And we've now got a privateer that is stuck in here because it's being blocked by a Swedish privateer. But that's fine. We will just skip a turn and then carry on afterwards. A little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. It is very nice getting this amount of gold per turn. Obviously, a Shoshone ship runs into a Greek ship. This is obviously near the Shoshone borders as well. So, I think the... I'm not sure which one, whether the Greek frigate fired. Yeah, you're unhappy because of our friendship with Brussels. That's potentially a Greek frigate lost there, especially if that Shoshone privateer can take a chunk out of it. Quebec City is in awe of us. That should be the Shoshone making peace with Brussels, and it is. Melbourne wants Voltology. Not too bothered about spreading the religion. Greece is now an ally of Florence. Where are you, Florence? Okay, you can get out of there now, can't you? So you should get out of there and then go back onto Auto-Explore. Not too happy about Greece becoming friends with Florence. I believe they've probably still got a spy in there, haven't they? Need 2 influence. Let's... do we have a spy in there? No, we don't. So let's go ahead and give them 500 gold and get them back. So everything seems all good. Units need orders. Another cargo ship. This is all I'm seem to be doing on this game, is telling cargo ships what to do. Which of these would be better? Probably Byblos, because we wouldn't be getting any religious pressure, but we'd still be getting the same amount of gold. So let's go to Byblos for this one. And again, that's all we can do on that turn. 5 turns away before the next session in the World Congress, so hopefully we'll be able to get the games enacted. And by that point, I don't think we're actually going to have an awful lot where we have any production going. Although I could try and build Cristo Redentor, which would be quite nice because it would give us extra culture and reduce the cost of adopting new policies. But we also want to get the research labs up and running. There's a lot of nice stuff I'd like to get, to be honest, which is the way civilization works, I suppose. You never quite have enough time to build all the stuff that you'd like. Got some influence with Byblos before for a trade route, getting oil from the Vatican City and from Colombo. And we have discovered plastics. So, lots of stuff to do here. First of all, what are we going to try and do? I'm very tempted at this point to try and get the Cristo Redentor built. It would be absolutely ideal if I can. It's a shame I don't have a great engineer. In fact, how far away from we are from getting a great engineer? Too many turns, so I can't really do too much about that. Do we have enough faith to buy a great engineer? No, nowhere near. Little bit of a shame there. Not an awful lot I can do about it, though, so we will just carry on. Of course, I could skip out the Cristo Redentor and try and get the World Fair. What do you get from the World Fair? Oh, the International Games, sorry. So, +3 happiness and a one-time increase of 30 influence with city-states if we manage to get silver. Increasing tourism by 100% for 20 turns and a free social policy. We'd love to be able to get gold. I am the tech leader, so probably nobody else has managed to get the Cristo Redentor unlocked yet. So maybe what we will do is we'll put 5 turns into it, or 4 turns into it, then we will switch over on to the International Games, and then switch back. Although I would really like to get Cristo Redentor, because that will actually give me a benefit throughout the entire game. Whereas obviously the International Games is only going to give me a benefit for a certain amount of time, and that's only really if we get the gold. I'm really hoping that the likes of Greece don't get the gold. I mean, what I could do, of course, is I could vote against it, although that probably wouldn't work because most of the AI would vote for it anyway. You want open borders? I'm not too interested in doing that. The Shoshone have adopted the freedom ideology. So let's have a look at the culture victory. So we still have dissidents, but it's not too bad at the moment. We still have the most tourism output. Actually, no, we don't. India has the most tourism output yet, but they haven't adopted an ideology. Sadly, they will probably now side with Greece because all of the 3 ideologies have been adopted, which means all of the early adoption tenants will have gone, at least getting 2 of them. You'll still get 1 if you take one of the others, but India are most likely going to side with Greece, so we really need to try and get as much tourism up and running as possible. What's taking you guys so long? 1 more turn probably with the look of things. In fact, nope, you're not going to get that done on this turn. That is fine. A friendly trade route plundered between Pocatello and us does hurt our income a little, but not too much. So let us go on to the next turn. We're now working on electronics, so very soon we're going to have battleships. We do have a lot of oil, so getting battleships up and running is quite nice. We could also build some carriers. Carriers don't actually require any strategic resources, but on their own, they can't actually do anything. They do have some combat strength, but they cannot melee attack. So their combat strength is purely defensive. If they're attacked, they do damage back, but they have no attack of their own. So you need planes to make a carrier worthwhile. However, planes require oil, and again, we have plenty of that, so it should be good. But we're not going to have a massive navy. I think at the moment we're just going to have enough to be defensive and dissuade any of the AI from attacking us. Can we finish that now? Can we complete that on this turn? Apparently we cannot. Sweden has adopted order. Let's go on to the right list. Now, we are order. Now, this is good. Sweden have adopted the same one that we have. See, freedom is content as well. That is a little bit of a pain. Still, I'm not going to be forced to change, even if I get massive unhappiness from it, because we're still at plus 50 happiness, which is absolutely fine as far as I'm concerned. There we go. So we want to lift an artifact, and either one, it's going to be from a city-state, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter which one, we'll just take one then, and we'll go to our museum. So we do get the theming bonus there. It's not massive, but it is a bonus nonetheless. In fact, I bet I can't actually put that anywhere else, can I? Oh, we can actually put artifacts in the Hermitage as well. Okay, that's good. What's this theming bonus for? Make sure both great works are of the same type, from the same era, and either both from the city civilization, or both from civilizations other than the city owner. So we do have one that's from Quebec City. The other one is Shoshone. So that should be fine then, because neither of them are from the city owner. And they're both the same type. Ah, but they're not from the same era. Let's just check that again. So they both need to be the same type. So they're both artifacts. They either both need to be from the city civilization or both from civilizations other than the city owner. So they're both from the civilizations other than the city owner, but they both need to be from the same era. So we need either a Renaissance or a classical era piece for this to work properly. So let's see if we can trade anything. Not sure anyone is going to have any artifacts yet. And in fact, no one does have an artifact. So we would be able to swap them later on. It's not the end of the world. We are still getting a little bit of a theming bonus there. But it has increased our culture somewhat. And bear in mind, of course, we do have a modifier. So it has put us up to 29, which is quite nice. But I think that's all I can get done this turn. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying the One City Challenge. And I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.